Welcome officially to our LinkedIn Glow Up session for interpreters with a sparkle of mindset today. So let's get right into it. So it's really awesome that you are here. I'm super thrilled. And let me already tell you, for those of you especially that are new and might not have my surprise yet, don't miss the end. If you like, we have planned 90 minutes for this. I really value your time. If we are quick, we might also join a bit sooner, but I really make an effort to not run over, yeah? So if you stay till the end, you will get a bonus as a little thank you for staying such a long time with me. And you get my LinkedIn ebook for interpreter entrepreneurs, because it is about seeing ourselves more than freelancers, right? And as entrepreneurs. So, we are entrepreneurs, we are seeing opportunities and taking them, So entrepreneurs, view yourself as an entrepreneur. That's my message to you. If you don't take anything else back today, then okay, how do I see myself as an entrepreneur? Then it's already a lot. And here you can kind of self-study about optimizing your profile to attract your ideal clients. I'm just looking to the left because here I have my presentation on the other screen. And to create magnetic content without spending hours online. So it's really also being efficient and productive and building real relationships that turn into bookings. So this is your bonus for the end. And by the way, if there's anything in the chat and I might not see it, please don't take it the wrong way. I didn't see it. It's just an overlook it. If there's anything important and anybody else catches it, just unmute and let me know. Because sometimes, with Zoom and those things plopping up, maybe it's overlooked. So, but I'm really making effort to keep an eye on everything here. All right, so maybe as an interpreter colleague, you have already had any of these thoughts. Is this really it? Will I still be hustling gig to gig for the next 10, 20, 30 years? Do I have to take everything and anything, or how can I be more selective? I mean, I cannot even take a holiday. I mean, I cannot plan a holiday with my family or friends because what if, I miss a gig? So this also is a strain on my friendships. Because then, of course, in those 2 weeks, I get the 3-day gig, that is it. And this isn't the freedom I wanted when I went freelance. I mean, free. It isn't the word freelance, but actually, hello, if I cannot take a holiday, where is the freedom? Or why am I still saying yes to clients who don't value my skills, maybe underpaid? We know it also from especially sectors like, yeah, over the phone interpreting. Judy knows it a lot. I think that there are many black sheep out there as well, yeah, agencies that pay really too low. You cannot even live from this. And why did you study a master's degree for this? So why am I still saying yes to this? And I didn't say, and then also, of course, I didn't sign up for this Shark Tank mentality. So by this, I mean, yeah, amongst colleagues, yeah, that often maybe you have already experienced the elbow mentality, in a booth where the colleague wasn't cooperating in a way that you had wished for in the ideal way, or talk negatively to the client about you or to another colleague, or taking over the microphone or whatever, like um, we know all these Shark Tank mentality aspects. So yeah, what about this? You didn't go freelance for all of this, right? And if you had any of these thoughts, maybe give me an emoji in the chat, whatever you can find first, whatever is easiest to find, a thumbs up, let me know, so that I also hit home here. Or if it's anything else, if it doesn't resonate with you at all, please also let me know, write me in the chat or afterwards, a DM, a reply to my email, if there's any other issue that is totally more striking for you, then let me know. I'm really interested in this because I want to find ways to help you. So, and this is what today is about. Today, we want to optimize your LinkedIn profile, of course, with what goal? To attract clients. So not necessarily colleagues, but clients, right? We want to create engaging LinkedIn content without overwhelm. I will give you a strategy for this. We want to build genuine connections with potential clients and take the next step toward your dream freelance business. And with all of this, today I want to also find out, maybe with the person in the hot seat or all of you, like the mindset behind it, like what is actually holding you back? What is it that you think why you don't get your dream clients or your dream gig? And what is the hurdle? Like, and then let's dive deep into the mindset issue, because often it's self-limiting beliefs that we are not aware of, and already bringing awareness to it helps so much and often already cracks, the nut, so to speak, and it dissolves the problem right away. So just also for those that are new, maybe to give you the heads up and be kind of frank here. So this is for you if you're an interpreter who wants to attract more clients without chasing them constantly. If you want to market yourself in a way that feels authentic and not awkward or salesy. If you're ready to use LinkedIn as a client magnet and not just like an online CV. So if you're willing to, care for it a little bit, And if you crave more clarity, confidence, and consistency in your freelance business, then this is for you, this workshop today. And it's not for you if you're looking for overnight success without putting in the work. Because let's face it, client acquisition is a marathon and not a sprint. You might sow the seeds, but it takes ages until something comes back. So just be aware of it. And it might not be for you here if you prefer to stay passive and wait for work to fall into your lap, or if you're not open to trying new strategies or showing up on LinkedIn. And if you're not ready to invest in yourself, like time, energy, and growth. Because, yeah, like this is also part of being an entrepreneur. This marketing aspect, we are a brand, you are a personal brand, and being aware of it is already the first step. And then, the following steps follow, subsequent steps follow. Like, okay, what kind of logo? But this is actually all sidekicks, What it's important is actually to go out there and reach clients and get into communication with them. So, okay. So if there are any questions, just let me know. Unmute and just speak up. This is no problem at all. And now a bit about my story. Let me first have a sip to drink. Mm. So here's the part where many of you already know me, but we always have new members, which are super welcome, by the way. I'm super excited about everyone here. But this is just for the existing members, just for you to know. This is why I introduce myself again. So to everyone, hi, I'm Sarah. I'm 38 years young nowadays, and I'm born in a small town in the west of Germany. And I grew up as always being like the good girl, I was really good in school. I even then started studying medicine at the age of 19 because I really wanted to or had the belief I wanted to do something great with my life. And since I was already great in school, then, I do something that not everybody gets access to because I had the self-limiting belief, here we are, mindset, for example, that all languages, anybody can study languages. And I had these voices from teachers in my mind, like, oh, with languages, you will not get rich, you will not make any money. And everyone and anyone in the future will speak English. English won't be needed anymore. So, okay, I thought I will study medicine then. Also as a woman, a bit scientifically, although maybe still more women are in medicine, but still it's a bit scientifically, uh, in the man-dominated era. But yeah, now I've overcome all of these self-limiting beliefs because I'm an interpreter nowadays, as you know. But back then already, I still wanted to have something extraordinary, and this is why I decided to not only study medicine just like this. No, it had to be even more special for me. Also with irony, like so. Then I decided, okay, I do it through the German army. So because I thought, okay, then I will just adapt and become the person that fits into this, into this picture. But actually, no, I didn't make it. I never developed this personality, maybe, or however you want to say it. But this has many reasons. We had family issues at the time. Oh, and I don't see the waiting room. Sorry. Somebody's in the waiting room and something was overlapping here, my window. Yeah, so of course, like I don't want to use this as a therapy right here for myself, but there were many reasons why I dropped out of medical school, amongst others, like family problems at home, not feeling kind of grounded, having lost the foothold, and yeah, and then with the pressure, of course, medical studies, and I had moved far away because I wanted to see the world, but then again, I was homesick and all these things. So long story short, I had something you might call like a nervous breakdown at 21, so 2 years into medical study. And because I also woke up from the illusion, that I had been following my dream. Because it's also a whole different world, and you realize, oh, how people tick, and is this really the world I want to enter? Like as a young person, look at people that have a certain profession and already have been working in that profession for maybe 20 years and see what kind of character they have. because the reputation, like reputation teachers have, reputation, I don't know, this group of profession has and that. And there's something to it, So look at it and see what you want to be like as a person. So yeah, anyhow, I woke up from this illusion that I was following my dream because actually I was following society's dream, like recognition, medicine, right? It's like a very prestigious career. So I'd followed more society's dream, not my dream, because I personally, me, Sarah, deep down, I had wanted something completely different. And yeah, that's why I dropped out in the end. And then I got back to the roots, reset everything. Okay, like, okay, what do I do now? Okay, what was my passion originally? So also, if you ever struggle with anything, think about what you were passionate about as a child, what came easy to you. And this is usually the path you can and should follow. So with me, it was languages and seeing the world, different cultures, immersing myself. So I studied to become an interpreter. Okay, long story short here as well, as you know, then it's still not, it wasn't like, okay, now I found it and now this time it's like, this great world that I had imagined. No, it's still like an illusion, So because then what was I hit by, like many of you, the Shark Tank and competitive mentality, and that there are nice people and not so nice people as well, arrogant people and non-arrogant people as well, like everywhere. But now I stuck with it, of course, because at least, the gist, languages, culture, this was my thing. So this is also what keeps you strong in a crisis for yourself. If the gist is actually what you desire and want, then you can hold on to this. So yeah, and the Shark Tank that I experienced was that colleagues told me you're not allowed to see clients in different countries because I had studied French as well. French was my second language. And so German, English, French. I'm a German English interpreter. I have a master's in it. And I had French as well. And after my master's, I had gone back to network, to France and actually met former lecturer it was even, and naive, you can call it or whatever. Maybe not, because I've met colleagues since then that have never heard of this rule, But then I met for a coffee, and okay, she did meet for a coffee, which was great. So, imagine me, this Sarah from a small German town, having failed at medical school, and suddenly I'm there in Paris, like after my master's, meeting like this prestigious lecturer, and saying like, yeah, I have my master's now, and I want to work, of course, like everywhere, but then she already held me back, like, no, you have to decide on one country and more specifically even one city in the country. And if you do client acquisition at all, then there. And even with client acquisition, you need to be careful because a company might already have an interpreter, and you don't want to like steal their clients. Like, what? So how do I get a job? So, um, yeah, like those are the three quotes I have here. Or you're not allowed to offer your interpreting services to that organization because that organization might already have an interpreter. But how the heck are you supposed to get their first clients if you cannot even do client acquisition, like be this entrepreneur? So this is, the negative side I personally think of interpreting. I think this is changing here, and this is also what I want to like transform with our Terps practice network, to transform the Shark Tank mentality into that of positivity, mutual support, and non-competition. Because if we are individually successful, we help the whole profession. So this is how we need to think, and be kind and collegial to each other, and that's that. And then I decided to break free from this as well. I thought, okay, I do my thing. Okay, kind of following the rules, but like to my ethics in the sense, if I know I don't steal the client from a colleague, then I can sleep well and I can do client acquisition with that company. You know what I mean? So you always, do your own critical thinking um, as well. Yeah, this is now how I came actually to teach client acquisition because I felt so held back in the days. And then so I did everything from scratch on my own. And actually my best clients were from my client acquisition and not through networking with colleagues. Like, yeah, I had a few jobs at the beginning as no, not a few. I had a French actually, I had a French job. That was through a colleague. That was really good, yeah. But like all because nowadays I only work with English and German. Like all of this was really through my own undertaking, entrepreneur undertaking and actions. because if I had waited to get jobs from a colleague, I still wouldn't have any today. I even when I had 8 years ago now, I gained my one of my first direct conference clients even. And sometimes you're also lucky, sometimes they find you. This is also why you need to be present. So they found me. And so I was in the process, in the position of finding a booth partner, right? And for some reason also because I was always about this, I don't know, you can say maybe justice, equality, diversity, whatever. I asked like a very much older colleague of mine, and since then, also until today, we have been working on this conference together every year, which is great and amazing. But look, it so happens, just because a colleague is older and more experienced, I might have thought something, I can't remember anymore 8 years ago, but I might have thought something as well, like, oh, maybe then, if she has something, she will, think of me and give back. Uh, but it didn't, in this 8 years, it didn't happen as often as you might think, maybe once or twice, like, so don't wait for colleagues to give you jobs or anything, like reach out, reach out to colleagues as well, of course, but I want to say be active, be proactive. So this is why I can teach client acquisition, because I totally know what it feels like, with the dumping prices. We had this before as well. And there also to think like, actually, I want to accept it. Oh, but my colleagues, no colleague must find out, because then, I would ruin the whole industry and, I would ruin my reputation. Forget all of those fears, because you see those colleagues that give these speeches like you must take good prices. You see them at events where you think like, oh, I would never have thought that you would have taken this job because, maybe it was for an agency, they didn't pay you that much, and then you see this prestigious colleague as well. So we know all how it works, right? So forget all of these fears, work according to your, this general ethics. Yes, of course, not stealing clients from a colleague consciously and so on. But, it's up to you to accept the price or not. It's like with any industry, you know. So yeah, critical thinking on your own. And I know the fear of sending dozens of CVs as mentioned and not getting a reply. It takes ages, and you really have to stay strong. You have sowed the seed, and wait. And then maybe after 1 or 2 years, suddenly somebody contacts you, and you think, "Hey, where are they coming from? This is from your activity from that long time ago." So keep doing it. And of course, I know the frustration of wondering where the good clients are hiding, relating to the dumping prices again. Where are they that apparently pay so well that everybody seems to be talking about at networking events. And why don't I get them? So I totally know how it feels and how lonely it can feel trying to figure it all out on your own. And yeah, I did, it was work. I did send out lots of CVs, like just an estimation, like I don't remember, I didn't keep track, but it could certainly have been 30 to 50 CVs per week because, per email, just, send it out, find your companies and do it. And I joined professional associations, I networked, I followed up. I offered also translations and language support to build relationships. So, offer more services around interpreting, especially maybe now with the fear of AI. So offer to be their linguistic contact person for any language and for any sorts of language challenge that they have, right? So the key was to stay consistent, keep learning and building those client connections and relationships. Yeah, and today, so it's like 13 years later, if I'm not mistaken now. And yeah, I work 3 to 4 days per week for regular clients that I found through my own initiative. Just today, actually, I had one session before this. And I had now, because I had already announced the Monday 6 p.m., I had to tell my client actually like my availability. And I had to say, okay, no, Monday 6 p.m., I'm blocked, they cannot book me. So yeah, this is just for you to know, okay, why am I mentoring client acquisition? This is why. I didn't just study it, I applied it myself. And yeah, now I help freelance colleagues to do the same. Okay, now it's about LinkedIn. And again, I just want to encourage you, if you have any question whatsoever, unmute, let me know. We don't need to wait till the end. There is a Q&A session at the end, of course, but, just if you like. But it will become interactive in a bit. If you're falling asleep, don't worry. And those that know me already, you can come back. Now we're getting into the deep dive session here. So why LinkedIn? I mean, I guess I don't need to talk a long time about it. We all know that LinkedIn is the professional network for work, right? For businesses. So you can boost your visibility there. You can position yourself as an expert. You can connect with clients and industry professionals and build a freelance business that's aligned with your goals. So focus on what's in your control. And as we know, we're starting Client Getting Week with this today. So I don't want to forget to let you know what your task is, so to speak, for today. And tomorrow it continues. You will get a short video, 1 minute long or so, and a PDF. And to continue on this. And today, and you can already do this parallel, of course, to make most use of your time here. So today it's about researching potential clients. So go on LinkedIn now while we are here in this session or afterwards. It's already late maybe in your country as well. Then just, do it very quickly, just pick 3 companies or contacts from LinkedIn that you decide on to contact tomorrow. Then that's a task for tomorrow. Today is just research, to decide on companies to contact. So that's that. Here, for example, decision makers, you can filter LinkedIn by that. We can look at the filter in a minute if you like. You can also filter by specific industries, If you have already a specialty, then filter here, or a special interest. Here we come back to the interest, it's in your control. So if you have difficulties deciding, the most important thing is to do something. So do what comes easiest to you. Okay, what topic are you most interested in? Technology, great. Focus on technology, or I don't know, or architecture, whatever, Don't make it difficult for yourself. Just do, because there is no right or wrong. You don't know whether this other thing would have happened better. But if you don't do anything, nothing happens. So just the important thing is here, do. And maybe also you come across some trade fairs or something, or trade shows, and note them down as well for in autumn, fall, when the season of trade fairs maybe also is busier again. But already note it down now so that you are already mentally prepared and it's not stressful and so on. And that's that. Okay, so now we're coming actually to the hot seat section here before I start here reading out the slides and so on. Let's actually do it together here. The profile perfection, let's optimize it together. Let's update somebody's profile photo if need be, maybe not, Let's create a LinkedIn banner of someone here who wants to be in the hot seat. Again, maybe, we decide, okay, it's a nice banner already, no need to adjust either. And let's craft the headline. And here it's also important, for example, to use all of the characters. Don't think, oh, it's too full, that long. No, it's good. In the headline, fill all the signs already, So what you do, who you help, and how you help them. All right, let me stop the screen share. Who wants to be in the hot seat? Do we have any volunteer? Drink something in the meantime. Okay, I think we're good in time. But yeah, we would need a volunteer, please. I'm waiting.
Yeah, if no one wants to be the volunteer, I would like to be your volunteer.
Great, Simone,
I've just changed actually my header, the banner of LinkedIn. So I'm curious about your ideas. So I just drop in the chat my LinkedIn profile, right?
All right. Okay. Yeah, you can also share your screen if you like. You should have the rights.
I just drop it in the chat. Maybe it's...
Shall I share it then?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. But you could already edit something because you have the rights, right?
Yeah. If you can edit, but if it's Canvas, Canva, I can't do it right now.
So yeah, no. But maybe like a headline or something, or if anything, if you like, you can already edit it right here and then if you liked. But maybe we don't find anything,
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm open.
So you wanna try? Do you wanna try share the screen?
So maybe it's better you get it on the screen if you can.
Okay, but then you cannot edit anything.
Yeah, I will edit it later.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me open it 1 second. Here it is. All right. Let me one moment.
Thanks, Giuseppe, for your feedback. He wrote, love the banner.
Yeah. Thank you. Always good to read out what's in the chat for everyone, yes, and for the recording, because we don't have the chat in the recording. Very good. All right, okay, let's see. Here it is. Okay, and here also everyone, of course, you can always unmute as well and give feedback to Simone, you know? It's like multi-brain feedback here. So, all right, let me have a look here on my other screen here. That's why I'm looking to the side. Okay, yes, also the banner already is striking to me. Great. And also very well visible, the photo on both. We see your face. It's very professional with the hand. It's also, you know, something different. It stands out. And you say, hi, I'm Simone, a professional remote interpreter and translator. German, Italian, English. That's great. Often we forget our languages, right?
Yeah, true.
And you have your logo above your photo. So very well organized with your photo, even that it's even above. Was it intentional or did you test it around?
Yeah, it was intentional. So it's not easy to have it large enough to read everything and keep it above the photo. Maybe I can squeeze it a little bit even more that it don't touches the photo actually. It's like
I think it's quite nice because it's
but
really
it's quite,
just
it goes
lying on it,
like,
so it's perfect.
Great.
Yeah. Also here, by the way, I'm personally all about non-perfectionism. You know, before you spend 2 hours to move it 2 millimeters, I would just leave it.
And then often it depends on the PC or mobile phone, because if you have a look at it on your mobile phone, maybe it's different. So it's not guaranteed that everything looks like as you see it.
Yeah. Even if you're on the normal feed on LinkedIn's homepage and you are here in small, right? Sometimes then also like on my profile, it's like perfectly aligned, but then if it's like normal, then suddenly something is behind the photo or so, you know, it happens, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So, but we do it, of course, to the best of our ability. And are these your brand colors? So green, this purple, and this pink here, or
yes,
all three?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What's also very good about the profile picture is that, you know, we see your full face, and you know, this is so important because if you're opening the messages here and then it pops up really small and there's somebody far away or a full body and in the garden or somewhere, you cannot see anything, you know. So it's really important to see the face. It's really good. Yeah.
And I've chosen this background because it's very vivid and lively, because I know from others, they just have a white background of the profile photo. So every photo looks like the same. I have some lawyers in my list, and so they all have the tie and a white background, and you can't say who is who because they're dressed up the same way with the same background. And so I've chosen this, magenta color.
Yeah, very good. Very good points. Think about how you yourself perceive your colleagues or other people, other professionals on LinkedIn, and what, you know, ask yourself, okay, what do I think now about this? Do I recognize them? And like Simona just said, like, yeah, and then I cannot make them out. They're all from far, or, you know, if everything is small, they all look the same, you know? So this is exactly how you can then turn it around onto your profile. Okay, what do I need to make different, you know, so that I am visible even in this view for the other person, right? So, okay, so actually, I don't have anything to improve about the profile picture and banner. Anybody else? I also like that you have a slogan here. That's really good. If anybody else has any feedback, of course, please unmute and let us know. Question. Giuseppe has a question. What is it?
Actually, it's flags. Yeah, I see flags on my screen. That's interesting.
So Giuseppe writes, on the shared screen, I see ATITGB. So yes. And when I go to the profile, I do see flags. Uh-huh. What do you mean? Like here? No, where?
Yes, I have
Here.
flags.
Here, yes.
Yeah. I do see flags as well. So the Austrian flag, the Italian flag, and the British flag.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's something about my computer. I have
Something
no idea.
about the emoji decoders or something like that on the PC that is sharing the screen must be.
Yeah,
Because
maybe,
I
yeah.
see them, Simon sees them, so
Yeah.
that
So
should be
these
the
are
issue.
flags here, yeah. Also individual countries. Okay, yeah, interesting, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know how to fix it now. I've seen it for the first time that this, in your view, it's not a flag.
Well, maybe,
It
but maybe it's
depends
on
on
my
where.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you see them, then you have the decoders or codecs, I don't know the technical name, to see them. But if Sarah can see the flag, it's because on the list of emojis or the list of codecs or decoders of emojis, she doesn't have the list of flags, for example, in this case. So that could be her problem. Of course,
No.
if the client doesn't see the flags, he might don't know those are the Austrian, Italian, and British flag. So it's also your problem. But
right. Thank
well,
you.
Yeah, thank you. And also, so let's go to the headline here. So you say, so first of all, your full name, very good. And then remote interpreter, marketing translator, and subtitler. Your languages again, helping companies to communicate in German, Italian, and English. Okay, do you know whether
That's
you have...
interesting. Wait, hang on a moment.
Yes.
Are you on my English profile or German? Because I changed it into giving voice to your words in German, Italian, and English. It says on my
Well, here it says
one.
English, no? I seem to be in English.
Yeah, maybe, yes. Maybe I changed only the German version because I come up with that slogan, and the English version just stayed as I had it before.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's as simple as we forgot to save, to click save or something, and then it goes back to the original version. Yeah. Yeah, and also for anybody else already. So here you can see English. So this is a profile language, and you can, add different profiles. Wow, look, she has 4 profiles here. No, wait a second.
3,
sorry. Here's English again. So you can add your profile in a different language, and you can do this here on your profile page, top right, as you can see. Then you should be able to see profile language. So do you know, Simone, whether you have used up all of the characters here in this headline? I think
so. Yeah.
You think so? Because for me, I think mine. I think mine might be longer. But if not, you can
maybe they changed it in the meantime. So when I wrote it, I think so.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking about, for example, do you have a master's degree or do you have any?
2.
Yeah. Then, for example, I would add this as well. Like anybody who doesn't have it, don't worry. You don't. It's not like super important. But those that have it, show it. Or if you have a PhD or whatever,
But how about? Sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah, please.
It's not actually a master's, but it's a magister, double magister in Austria. It was the former studies, translation studies.
Well, then of course in your German language you can use magister, I guess. And then just maybe in English see what the equivalent is. If it's master, then just write master. If nobody else understands magister, then write master.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just because it adds, like, yeah. And then and maybe also like then that means you are also a conference interpreter in the booth and so on, right?
Right, yeah.
So maybe just an idea, conference and remote interpreter. This is something that I've just sort of like recently as well, because there are many actually, I think, that don't do conference interpreting, that exclusively offer, for example, over the phone interpreting or remote at home, But if you offer like everything and also in the booth, whether in the booth is also online, but just the term conference might be good to use in there as well.
Yeah, well, I do both. And I think that's a bit difficult if you do a lot of things to squeeze it all in the title, and so I left it very general with remote interpreter, because I do video over the phone and conference interpreting, and so that's only the interpreting part, and then you have the translator part, the subtitler part, and I could also add other things that I do. So that's
I totally get it. That's why, like, first of all, again, like, fill all of the signs and then start with what's most important to you, kind of what's your preference, and also maybe what's the highest or what already encompasses most. Like conference would, in my view, maybe let me know if other people have other opinions, but encompass like almost anything else. It's like, how to say it? It's like if you do conference and you can do other types of interpreting as well, maybe, you know what I mean? So, but fill in all of the signs as mentioned, because now it could also be understood as remote interpreter because it's so prominent there. Like maybe you don't do in person, you know what I mean? But just, this is already nitpicking, and already being like optimizing, it's totally good the way it is, we're here really to optimize things and now consciously, deliberately think about, okay, what could a potential client think? And like they only spend 3 seconds to decide whether they contact you, or not, whether they click on the X to close your profile or not, right? So this is just for those kind of moments, to make them stop and take a second glance. So
and also keywords maybe, because sometimes people just write and say,
absolutely,
you wrote subtitler, and so they found me because of the subtitler.
Yes, exactly, So that's why also conference. That's why I was also thinking of conference in there for the keyword as well. And you could also say conference remote interpreter, right? Or conference and then in bracket remote, to imply like both or whatever. But of course, not too many different special characters, maybe either, to not make it too confusing for the eye, either. But conference remote interpreter, for example, or remote conference interpreter, marketing translator, good. Subtitler. With subtitler, then I would rather think with a keyword, do they search subtitler or subtitling,
Yeah.
That's a question. Like, would you rather have like another, like a separation line like this and just write subtitling, I don't know. What do the others think? Let us know. You can jump in. Yeah. And then just, what is your new phrase here now instead of this?
Just switch to German so you could see it on the screen. Yeah.
Giving voice. Why is it now English? Or it's my end, no?
Yeah, no, it's I've left it in English. It's English for all languages. Yeah. I think in Germany it was too long.
That's interesting. Why do you have your headline in all in English? I mean, okay, now here it continues in German, I see, but why did you decide for the headline? It's interesting, yeah.
To keep it short and sweet.
What do the others think about? It's interesting. This is the first time I've come across this. Like, So you have already you have 3 profiles in 3 languages, but you keep the headline in English.
Yeah, I will change it in languages because when the people are searching, they are searching in that language, and I think it show up in the results accordingly. So I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe it's better to have different languages.
Yeah, it's my impression as well, because if you already have make the effort to create 3 profiles. Great job, by the way. So why not then also have the headline in all the languages? Because I would also think, depending on, first of all, maybe where the person is based or what their browser thinks where the person is in, and the language, they would search for the profile in that language, so they would have a keyword, and then it appears, I would say, in that language, right? That's how I think it would, how I believe it works.
I would translate it.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, Simon.
Yeah, Giuseppe, please. Yeah.
We searched when we were talking on school. I don't know if you remember, Sarah, how the different languages in profiles on LinkedIn worked. if someone wrote a profile in, let's say, English, if that profile was seen by people writing in English, searching in English, living in English-speaking countries, or how was the algorithm or how that part works. And we found out, let me find it, that here it is. It was one of the first messages. Okay, when a LinkedIn profile is set on a specific language, for example, Italian, it's usually shown more frequently to the users who are using LinkedIn in that same language. This means if my profile is set on Italian, it's more likely to be shown to people with their profile language set on Italian, people searching in Italian, and possibly users in Italy, because they will probably have the language set on Italian. So it does help to translate the profile depending on who you think will read it.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe a German company would search for Übersetzer, right? They would maybe not search translator. And interpreter, I think the Germans that don't have anything to do with interpreting might not even know that this is a translation for Dolmetscher, interpreter, right? So,
right.
yeah.
But would you use the female or the male version, so the masculine or feminine?
Ah, yeah. So, oh God. Okay, guys, in German we have also something going on that's called gendering or gender, because in German you have a masculine version and a feminine version of a given noun or like a person, and now there's like this movement going on that there's too much masculinity in the language, so it leaves out the women, and but it makes the word so much longer in writing. It adds a colon in it for the male version, and then to express, okay, it's also the female versions. So and this is also a subjective matter, whether women feel discriminated or whatever if it's not using the female version or not. I personally don't feel it's discriminated. I actually feel it makes the German language a bit like not readable and not sound that nice anymore. But so what to use now? So I would totally forget about people pleasing in the sense like, what does the client think if I don't gender, if I do gender? Because there will be people that like it and there will be people that don't like it, So here I would really make it practical and think of the keyword, like what keyword might be most used. And I don't think that most people make the effort in making and using the gender word now with a colon in between. It's too much typing, no? Or what do you think, Simone? I don't know.
Well, the colon, I wouldn't give in the colon, so I would write Übersetzerin, like one word. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Or maybe the verb. But when I did my website, but it was already like 13 years ago, the agency actually told me to use the male version. Back then there wasn't the gendering going on yet, but because of the keyword, because it was the most used term or searched for term more than the female version and more than the verb or something.
I did so too for another website of the Economic Chamber, actually, because there's a list of all entrepreneurs in our country, and so I've chosen the German male version, because you search for Übersetzer and not Übersetzer.
Yeah. And I still remember in school or whatever, when you were to write an essay, you would say at the beginning, like, in the following, I use the male version, but I mean all genders or something, so just to make it more simple. And yeah, but here, so back to the headline. So of course, we still need to see how many characters are provided or can be used. But then I would say, wait a second. So we said in English, conference interpreter, conference remote interpreter, so Konferenzdolmetscher. You can just use the verb to avoid it, If you also think it says Simone and then the male version might seem a bit strange as well, but people don't search for the female version, then you could just say conference interpreting in German, and then with all with and then here with these
subtitle
separated with these lines, all of your services.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody else has any idea or suggestion, please let us know, of course. I like that you also have a little slogan here, like giving voice to your words in German, Italian, and English. Maybe we can find something that stands out more as well. Like my first initial impression is it's a bit generic. Now it's like anybody does it, no? With also any translator does it now, or maybe something more unique. Giuseppe, yeah, please. Sorry, I didn't see your hand. Yeah.
Also thinking of the flags, you could specify German is German from Austria. I don't know if there is any difference like Spanish from Argentina, Spanish from Spain, etc. If there are regional German regional differences, if it's spoken in different ways, etc. Maybe you could specify in some way in that part that you're from Austria, so they could understand if they don't see the flags that it's Austria, Italy, Great Britain.
Yeah, that's interesting because usually Austrians talk German, standard German, but we do have very often dialect words used also in standard Austrian, like I don't know, if you have apricot, we say non aprikosen, but Marillen, we have a totally different word, like between British English and American English, with subway, underground, things like that. But for the rest, it's standard German. So I can do both. And yeah, it's an interesting point. So I don't know if I would mention it in the title because it could be confusing. Somebody could think, oh, she does only Austrian German, but not German German.
Yeah, that's what came to mind as well. I mean, for the headline, DE is already good. It says general German.
Or you could add Austrian German, German, Italian, English. So they don't think you only do that, but maybe it's redundant.
Yeah.
Then it's too long, maybe. Yeah.
It depends on the number of characters.
I was thinking of a way to avoid the issue with the flags, but if it's too long, confusing, doesn't make sense, well, it's just an
They could also then just leave out the flags. Maybe, I don't know. You mean because it says DE and then it says there's an Austrian flag, yeah?
Or maybe I could put it in the banner up there that I'm from Austria. So.
Or you could put the flags in the banner. In the lower part in the middle.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and it should also show on my end and on anybody's end, I think. Yeah. Because then it's in the picture, right? And yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah, to
if I may.
Yeah. Yes, please.
I don't see the flags on my, like I opened your profile picture, LinkedIn pic on my laptop, and I just see AT, ITGB. And I think for somebody who is German and or from Austria, it is clear, even if they don't see the flags, that you speak German and that you have maybe an Austrian accent. But I don't know, I think for me it was quite clear. And I travel a lot between Germany, Italy, and Austria, so I don't know, I didn't think that was unclear or a big problem.
Yeah, I think what we need to think about here is about, would it add any value, or would it rather add confusion? So I think if you had Swiss German, then it would add value because I cannot translate or interpret Swiss German, you know. But since Austrian German and standard German are kind of the same, okay, different words, like you said, but you can do it, right? So yeah, I just think I would not make it more confusing as necessary. Maybe adding the flags in the banner, that's no problem at all, you know. But leaving here DE, I think is totally enough. I think here in the headline it would be confusing. I would not have noticed, I think, or would have not thought about it much with the flags here either. That I would not have thought there is a discrepancy, I think, seeing DE and then the Austrian flag here. But maybe you can, if you take out if you add the flags in your banner, you can take them out here because you don't need them twice, I think. And then rather use to avoid any possible ambiguity. It's still a good point that Giuseppe made. Thank you. Because I think for Spanish it would be relevant, like if it's Spanish or Latin America, and then even maybe different Latin American countries. Yeah, and
almost all of them.
yeah, yeah. But I think for this, I think that would be a good solution. Adding the flags in the banner and leaving the E here. And I think this is understandable even to non-industry professionals, that this means, you know, this arrow and that and the arrow in the other direction.
Both ways.
In both directions. I think that's good, yeah. And just a different slogan, maybe. Giving your words in German, because it's also double now, it's repetitive, because you have your languages here. And then again, written out. Okay, maybe for the keywords, or I don't know.
Right.
I see.
Yeah, because the words are in full there, and in the other, where are the combinations, the pairs? It's only the E, I, T, E, N, so it's not the full word. So they could either search I, T, E, N, or they could search Italian, English, and there are more keywords available.
I mean,
One
if you
could
think
put Italian translator or ET translator.
What do you think? What do they search?
Ways.
What do people search more for? The abbreviations or writing it out?
Usually the full word, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So if you think from this perspective, then
also because there are several abbreviations, IT, ITA. So it depends on everyone.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
And with IT, I'm just thinking loud. You search for an IT professional, not for the language Italian, but it's
also,
yeah. So then maybe even leaving out or omitting this year, and just say, you know, in German, Italian, English, because then also, okay, there you don't have the direction, but how to say, it's not a hindrance, you know, because this actually might also rather raise questions to the person reading it who's not involved in our industry. But if you just say, you know, I help you with German, Italian, English, somebody who's not involved, that's enough for them, you know. They don't need, only in this direction. And since you do all directions anyways, doesn't matter, you know. So
true.
You don't need the direction in the headline.
I think that's just between colleagues. It's something that is used a lot. You see that a lot in profiles.
But whom are you making a profile for?
That could be used by colleagues to find her. If a colleague needs a translator to replace them for a certain translation, they might search with the E or EN for IT, for example.
Yeah,
that's
for them it's
true.
Yeah.
It's
or
more
agencies.
likely. Or an agency.
Yeah. I mean, is it
but
really,
for
it's about
client,
the characters in the headline. Yeah, you can keep both as well, you know, in that respect, because with the keywords, it's even sometimes good to repeat, you know, kind of, you know, and you might still have, if you take out the flags, you might still have some space for like a slightly different slogan. What could we have as a slogan? Giving a voice to your words in German, or I mean, it's not bad, you know, you could leave it. It's just maybe how can we make it stand out? Maybe do you have a niche that you would like to? Sorry, it was Judy. Were you raising your hand or not? Were you just adjusting your headset? Okay, okay. Because I had a similar issue maybe, because I had thought for a long time about, shall I mention market research in my headline or not, or medical market research, or is it narrowing me down too much already, you know? But no, it's not, you know. Be as specific as you can, have like one ideal client in mind and just make it for them, because you cannot speak to everyone anyways. If you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. Maybe you've heard the saying. So just, you know, come up with your ideal client. You know, in marketing, we even do this ideal client avatar, you know, so you create this persona and so on. And then, you know, speak to them and always envision like this person you speak to in your posts as well, because this makes it also more personable. Just imagine you're speaking to one person then it also makes so much easier to come up with content, to find the right tone of voice and how to speak, because just write as you speak, because it doesn't have to be formal, because it has to be personable, that the person feels touched, addressed, you know. So this is why maybe here it's about deciding, okay, do you do it for a colleague or for this avatar, which is a company, you know, and have your directions maybe here in about. Look, we see it here as well. You can have it like in here as well for colleagues, you know, if they come quickly to your profile and quickly want to see, they could still see it there. Or do you want it, you know, it's not wrong, you know, it's just, you know,
yeah, it's a good point.
Decide, yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, I should also decide if I would go for rather interpreting or translation, subtitling. So I have to choose something because clients are very different between those niches.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, it's a good question. Do you have a preference, or do you do any of them most? And is this also a preference, or, you know, because maybe you do something most, but you would prefer something else, you know, it depends.
True. Yeah. It's like sometimes I have like times when I like translating and then it's like, it's enough. I would like to do more interpreting. So I like change things that tasks. I wouldn't rather do just translation or just interpreting.
I see. Yeah. I mean, look, there's also, you can also adjust your profile every 6 weeks or so, you know, it's your profile. You can do what you want with it, you know. So, what comes to mind is just, I'm just thinking, for example, if you were now swarmed with subtitling and you're totally fed up with it, maybe, and you already get enough subtitling work or whatever, then it would be okay to just scrap it for the time being, you know?
Yeah.
Because now you're like looking for actually maybe conference interpreting or remote interpreting, you know?
Yeah. Maybe also when it's the end of August, so interpreting period comes up, I could change it to interpreting. So there are certain times or periods in a year where you have more kind of this work or the other type of work. Could be a good idea.
Exactly, yeah, and really, this is like, look, LinkedIn profile is your like window storefront, you can say, you know, it's like window shopping, and you can do with it what you want, you know, and trust me, nobody will notice that you have changed it, you know, or change it every 6 weeks, or they don't care, because as if somebody went to your profile and checked, you know, and compared, you know. So it's really, you know, don't be afraid of doing that, you know.
Maybe LinkedIn likes changes of your sometimes LinkedIn, if you change a lot of things, it will propose your profile more often to others, or
yeah, then it shows the change, maybe. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So do you have a sub-specialization or any preferred topic that you love doing, or, you know, like I said, with medical market research, do you have anything like this, or any specific, or film subtitling, you know, any sub niche that you could?
Yeah, with let's say I have a niche with post-production of films, so subtitling not films like 90 minutes of a movie, but image films of videos of companies, so short promotional videos or interviews also.
And do you like it as well? That's also important.
Like it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, because I do also post editing of videos. That's the other
because then you could put
I
a slogan like this,
edited.
you know, or add something like this. And again, like, and here could even be a bit repetitive with one of the keywords. If you used interpreter, now you could say interpreting your image videos in German, Italian, or English. So you don't use the same word, like, you know, use the verb if you have used the noun before, or vice versa, or whatever. But the verb or the word that you want to do most, for example, interpreting, then repeat that and not translating or subtitling, you know? So
yeah.
I'm
also much into community interpreting from so remote community interpreting. However, I think I won't find the right clients on LinkedIn for that one. So I don't know, maybe the others have some idea, but community interpreting, if I prefer to work with agencies, because if you have private clients who go to a doctor, they won't spend like 200 euros for the interpreter on that day, because maybe you sit there in the waiting room 2 hours and then you have 1 hour inside the doctor's room, and 3 hours the whole day. I don't know, and they are not willing to give you that money. So therefore I preferred not to mention it, because I'm already in other working with agencies, and I think
and if you already have a good workflow there, and if you think they don't come from LinkedIn anyways, here's again about this ideal client avatar, or at least the direction here that you want to go at. If it's more like the prestigious clients, if possible, or whatever, and in with the post editing of image videos or anything, then focus on that. And you can always add those kind of details in the about section or later here somewhere in your profile, right? For anybody that were to use in those words and want to find you. But totally, here's about focusing on that. And if you already say you want to use LinkedIn for other types of client, then you can totally leave it out. Yeah. Is there anybody else who wants to say anything or share anything with Simone? No. Any other idea for the slogan? Otherwise, other than maybe interpreting. What if we say interpreting your image videos in German, Italian, and English, or image productions, or commercials?
Yeah, I have a question. What do you think is better when you present your profile on LinkedIn? Is it better to write like your resume or the services you're offering?
What do you mean, like either or, like resume? Like, because if you fill in all of the sections in the profile, I would definitely recommend doing so.
You say like, resume, I do this or that, I work for your references, or I offer you somebody that is, that keep your file confidential, high quality service, and describe services that you're offering.
Yeah, so I would always start with what you're offering to this ideal client avatar that you have in mind, because they have, at first, they're interested in, can you help me, So do you offer what I need? So always first say, or talk about your services, and it has a section about experience, Here, Simone has already nicely filled everything in, and if they wanted to, they can scroll through your experience and see your resume, But in the about section, like I think Simone also did a good job here. So here in large letters, what I do. Shall we go to English again? Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope that I get my English profile up to date. I don't know. Actually. No, it's
a bit
shorter.
Short. Yeah. But no problem. But yes, look, you can make this long. Also here, again, don't be afraid in using. I think you have a lot of characters here. I think I haven't used up all of the characters either, because it's a lot that you have there. But again, don't worry about it, because if somebody's interested in it, then they want to read it. That's why here you can use up all of the characters, but still make it readable, like in paragraphs, maybe bullet points. So there, for example, Judy,
like the ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. Use ChatGPT and making it. Yes, absolutely.
Making the text really readable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and what I want to say, and there you have the space, Judy. So you can start with your services, and then if you have still characters left there, then please mention your references as well. Because use up the space. But most important or most relevant for your ideal client first, and then going down in the relevancy. That's how it is. Yeah. But good, you have your your contact details. That's great.
Yeah, and also another thing, and like I have just one more exam to go to have my degree, and so now I can put like I graduate, because I'm not there yet. It's just a couple of months, but I want to put, because it's put it on like my resume, because I think it's important.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Exactly. Like, look,
but I don't know like
yeah.
how to do that, because I don't want to write I graduate, because just a couple of months to go.
Well, like I said with Simone earlier, you can say MA, like in your headline, just add somewhere like the abbreviation of your, like, for example, master's degree, MA, like the common well-known abbreviation. If it's something different, like, what is it that you have, Judy? What kind of?
It's a bachelor in international studies for sustainability.
Well, so you can already put like in brackets in the headline BA, you have a bachelor, and then here in
I don't know,
the
because it's not but yeah, it's not true.
But soon, or not in a few months?
Yeah,
And then you can elaborate on everything in the about section. That is what's about. Then you can also say Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts or whatever, if it's different, and if it's sustainability or whatever, then great, elaborate on this.
Yeah, the course is sustainability, but I actually graduated in human fundamental rights.
Yeah, fantastic. And this is your specialty now. You can, if you want to work in this, of course, that's also about great, but do you like it? It's about like, do you want this as well? Think about your ideal client.
Yeah, that's what I can choose many. I can choose economy. I can choose whatever, even English literature. But I choose like the human fundamentals rights, because that's that's my favorite. It's what's very like transversal course. It was like you can experiencing many different classes. So it's great for this.
Great, but please don't be shy. And maybe this is again the mindset behind it. Like, did you already have your exams and you passed and you're just waiting for the certificate, or what? Because then you can already totally write. You have your BA already.
I'm missing the Spanish exam.
Okay. Then
this is the last one, and I'm writing my dissertation. Yeah, that's it.
So, wait a second, dissertation for the bachelor.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, then you can already, what you could do now is writing it here, soon to be a bachelor graduate or something, and then as soon as then have the BA behind it or whatever, and already, mention your specialization, title of your thesis and so on. If you want to work in this area, of course, like, yeah, on that topic.
Yeah, it's kind of also, I have too many like law and right classes, so that's kind of helping me to even like work in the legal sector if I wanted to. Also, they call me a lot of when they do like the conferences about sustainability, of course, because.
Great. Yeah, mention all of this in the about section. And again, but in the structure, it's most important to you and what your ideal client needs. And then, references below. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think I would have like one specific, because I like to do like a lot of things, I'm passionate about a lot of things, and I want to like experience in all of them, because I am like specialized as a medical interpreter, because it's something that I love. But I also like the rights and the law and stuff like that. But I will not, definitely don't like to work in a courtroom. Yeah, that's what,
yeah. Okay, look, that's great. You already have an orientation. Like with everything now, it's like, okay, you can always, now it's about how to structure it, that, yes, we offer everything, but now for this profile, how to structure it. And here you can always say, okay, I start with what I like most or would love to do most, or what I can do best and I like, and think about your ideal client avatar, and then structure it top down. Like if you do medical a lot and you like doing it and you want to continue, then maybe write in the headline, medical interpreter, whatever. And in the about section, you can elaborate on everything else, but again, in a readable way, and top down based on your priorities, thinking about your interest and your ideal client avatar in mind, and just have like really like, let's say one industry, like we said, one niche in mind, because you cannot have different niches here. that you want to address, to like speak to one niche, and imagine that you were telling them, oh, and by the way, I also do law, I also do sustainability, I also do this, but still focus on this one main client, because as I mentioned, you cannot, if you communicate to everyone, you communicate to no one, and that's it. And don't worry, you will not exclude other types of clients, because it looks so professional and you're so specified, then they will see it and they will still contact you, even from this, sidekick topic, let's say. So don't worry about that. It's better to niche down. The chances are much higher to be contacted than, speaking to everyone, because then you're just wishy-washy and yeah, you know what I mean? That's a key point. I think also the mindset already like behind it, like we are super afraid in like saying, oh, I'm a medical interpreter, but what if the technology company doesn't contact me? Then yes, I do. Look, this direct client I mentioned before, this is in a totally different industry. It's not medical, it's not market research. And they contacted me. So it's really just for the profile here.
It happened,
yeah. Okay, but great. Thanks for your question, Judy. And thanks, Simone, also for sharing. And look, okay, here you can already like elaborate from your German, in your English version.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
Because, like, if you work on your LinkedIn profile, sometimes you just pause and then you forget about it.
Absolutely, I totally feel you.
Even
yes,
if it's like in my case, I have chosen 3 languages for my profile, but honestly, sometimes I just think about it. Oh, that would be a good way to say it, and then I just do one of the 3 profiles, and then I forget about it because life happens.
Exactly, it's totally fine. Look, and this again, that's why it's best to have something here. It still looks professional. Come on, right, guys?
And also, you don't do just one job. You're interpreter, but also entrepreneur and advertiser, marketing, and everything in one. So it's hard to keep up with everything.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, but thank you also for coming forward, Simone. I hope this was already helpful, a few tips that we had here, because I'm looking at the time as well, and I really want to try to not overrun. So maybe let's see what I have left in the presentation, unless, Simone, do you have any last burning comment, question, or anybody else for Simone? No? Or if you have any last question, or anybody else for Simone, any comments before I see how to continue? Let me just look at you guys here. No? Okay, and let me stop the screen share. And let me come back to, let me actually see what I have left here, because you have done a lot, of course. Now in the hot seat section. I didn't miss anybody in the chat or nobody in the waiting room right now. Okay, looks all good. Just checking everything here. All right. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left roundabout. So this is what we did here. Again, thanks, Simone. Optimize it together here. Yeah, and I like to actually recommend this for the mindset side of things. Maybe just for fun, do this personality test. Here, 16 personalities. You can use a free version. Just, to get kind of, a sense of yourself more. Because really, it's most important to understand how you yourself tick. And then, work with that, and stop worrying about what other people might think, this colleague or that colleague, and just, work according to your own likes, dislikes, talents, and stand by it. Because like this communicating to everyone is communicating to no one. It applies to everything, like with gendering in the German language. Was I afraid to say that, oh, I don't like the gendering, I should like it, I'm a woman and it's made for women or whatever? Yeah, but on the other hand, I am allowed to have my own opinion. I don't mind that they do it, but I would prefer not to have to write it all like in the male and female version in this way, but so what, we can have different opinions. So, and it's best to be, to stand by your own values, because that's also why I like to use the word like client magnet or something, because we want to be a magnet. And, a magnet has 2 sides, it's polarizing. Yes, people will be kind of rejected maybe, but therefore other people will be really drawn to you. Whereas if you are like people pleasing and talking to everyone, then these poles are super weak, both of them. So you will not attract people either, because they simply overlook you. They spend the 3 seconds on your profile, are not sure and they click further. This is as quick as it is, right? So it's why just for fun, maybe you take this test and try understand yourself a bit better. And then you can also, adjust your client acquisition to this. All right, this was just an example here from my profile, but we did this very well in the hot seat. Thank you. Your headline as well. The about section, I think we covered well as well. Maybe just, for everyone here, what you want to tell in your about section. You can elaborate on who you are, as we mentioned, your specialty again, whom you help, maybe Judy in the future, sustainability clients, like how you help them. Here it's actually good, Simone, if you have different services like subtitling. Like I don't offer subtitling, so here it's really helpful to know if you also offer subtitling or voiceover or transcriptions, offer everything. Explain how you help them, so all of your services and strengths. And the call to action, this was really good in your about section already in the English, because you had your email there, Simone. So it's really good, like invite them to connect or contact you, and where it's best to contact you, like your email. And pro tip, personal touch. They like, always remember, clients love working with real humans, not resumes. Here it's always thinking about, people work with people. So that, remember, you're talking to a person, so just be normal, And that's also what I mean, like, imagine like you were talking to one person on LinkedIn, Imagine you're talking to one client, this one person. And then you have the best tone of voice, you have it's easier to think about what to write and how to write to them, etc. The about section, that's the example here. Maybe quickly now, what to post, because now it was all about the profile. Now about what to post. Like, share your interpreting journey. Behind the scenes, like maybe subtitling someone. I would be really interesting to hear more about subtitling. But again, you should want to see clients in that, of course. No, but again, if you're wondering, and it's still better than nothing, right? Even if it's like your sub niche and you would like, to prefer interpreting or whatever, but still, it would be great to have some behind the scenes, backstage looks and subtitling. How does it work actually here? Do you need a specific program? And so tell us about that. Post industry tips or fun language facts. Also, think about this ideal client again. What did they ask you in the past, like clients from before, what would they be interested in, and so on. And then share tools or strategies you use as an interpreter, like I mentioned, the program, for example. Or highlight a client success. Here, Judy, you can share references, testimonials, use this as a post, So I hope this gives you some ideas. Make a screenshot or note it down if you like. And again, no overwhelm, because here, activity now. Write down one LinkedIn post idea now from that that you will maybe use now during client getting week to post. And no overwhelm, because actually the LinkedIn algorithm is in our favor, because it's actually best to only post a maximum of 3 times per week, not more. So you don't have to post every day. So just an example here, post article. The article is a longer version. And now how to network now. If you find a company, click on the connect button. It asks you, do you want to add a note? Maybe yes, maybe no. It's up to you how much time you have. But if yes, then, then read a bit about their profile. Actually, in my experience, it's actually not that bad if you simply write, I'm an interpreter. I would like to connect, I saw your profile and you work internationally or something like this, because it is a business profile, a business network, and they expect kind of to network for business purposes, right? And here's again the rhythm. So, commenting is good on LinkedIn as well for the algorithm, and liking and so on. But creating your own posts, really no more than 3 per week. So start even with 1 per week, So then the algorithm starts picking up, but you don't need to worry. You don't need to post every day. So maybe take a screenshot if you want to commit to this routine, or note it down. And sending out connection requests, of course, is important. But again, don't be spammy, do it in a way that you can also kind of message them individually, so 5 per week, for example, because it's really about consistency. All right then, okay. we're in the last few minutes, so perfect timing. If you allow me, if you have any further questions, let me know. We come to the Q&A also, but of course, as mentioned, you can always ask a question now. And but other than that, because we can only do so much in this workshop, I would like to show you what I offer, as a business mentor, if it's okay with you. Yeah, okay. So because now we can grow together if you like, because I offer mentoring for colleagues in marketing and client acquisition. And now I developed like a 1 month client magnetism mind shift program. So mind shift for client magnetism. So it's a 1 month sprint, let's say, to break free from self-doubt and become magnetic to dream clients. That's what I mentioned with magnetic before, right? And I really want to focus on the mindset of things, because like I shared some of my self-limiting beliefs from the past, and often like we are not aware of it, and this is what's actually holding us back, and sometimes it just needs a tweak, just something to go out there, because I've realized that some colleagues don't even like go out there because something is holding them back, and that's what I want to tackle, and then do and take action, get to the doing. So, because often you already know the basics, as I've written here, but still something is not quite working. Maybe how you show up, how you present yourself, how to talk to them on the phone. It's really, keep in mind, it's a human being. It's a person. You can always talk to them, even if problems happen. Remember, it's a human being. So I will share the link actually also in the chat. And you don't have to pay 3,000, you don't have to pay 2,000, don't worry. So it's really like my 1 month, like my small package here that I want to offer. I also have a 4-month program, but at the moment the doors are closed. So now I just opened for 1 month. Yeah. And as I mentioned, you don't have to pay too much. It's 590 euros, and you get lots of details. You get access to my video library for 2 months even. So it's a 1 month because we have one-to-ones for 1 month, but I have a vast video library which is only available for this mentoring program. And to give you enough time for it, this is open for 2 months. I cannot open it for a lifetime because this is for the big program, because it would be unfair otherwise to the long-term clients or for the 4-month program. But for 2 months, I think it's totally enough. There are lots of templates, resources in there. You get a taster now during Client Getting Week with a PDF. I really want to make it tangible and no overwhelm. That's why I have lots of resources in there as well. And for 1 month, however, Zoom calls, WhatsApp contact line to me one-to-one. So that's that. And yeah, I will send you an email about it, and you can click on it and just sign up. While I'm sharing the link, you can read the testimonial. I will share the link already. Just, you can also save it for later. And if you have any questions, let me know. You can also always DM me if you don't dare to ask now. Send me an email by replying to my emails that you receive from me. Really don't be shy. I want to hear from you. I want to learn what helps you, So what you need. And don't forget, Client Getting Week continues tomorrow. Here's another testimonial. I'll just let you read it. Yeah, and if you have any questions now to today's hot seat, or what I mean by mindset or anything, just let me know. A third testimonial. Maybe some of you know actually some of the participants here. Yeah, any questions? Let me know if there are any questions. The doors to the program are open till Friday. And yeah. If not, wow, we're super great on time. 90 minutes, spot on. But I'm still waiting, I've learned to wait with moderating these sessions. As a participant, I know as well that sometimes the questions come after a few moments. If not, that's totally fine too, of course. No more questions or comments? about your LinkedIn profile? Everything answered? Who will change something about their LinkedIn profile now after today? I think Judy already said so. Yeah, Simone.
Yeah, I have some ideas.
Okay, cool. I'm glad. So you got some ideas. Yeah, I'm super happy about it.
Today, before the session, I add another language because I have a profile in Italian, and yeah. So because first I kind of work mostly like in the US, UK. And so now I start somebody calling me from Italy. So I don't have the profile in Italian. Why? And I also remember what Giuseppe said about the algorithm and research. So.
Great, I'm super glad about it. Oh, and before I forget, oh, good that I have this slide in my presentation. Otherwise, you can always remind me if I announced anything and I forget. Please remind me. Here is my PDF for those that don't have it yet and stay till the end. Congratulations, Carlos here, for example. I hope it's helpful. So it's in the chat. You can download it, I hope. If not, let me know if there's a problem. Yeah, but great. Yeah, thanks, Judy, for sharing. Yeah. Well, I hope all of you got some ideas and yeah, how to maybe use your LinkedIn now and what to do with your profile. And if not, we are spot on, right on time, I would say. Have a great rest of your day. Client Getting Week tomorrow, you get an email with a short video, only 1 or so minutes long, really short, and a PDF. You know, you research today, pick 3 companies today. Tomorrow it's about outreach. And no call this week on Wednesday. That's why we had it today. I appreciate your time. Use the rest of your time for optimizing your profile, reaching out to potential clients. And that's that. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.